Hey guys, so I'm sorry I haven't done a movie review in a while, and I'm sorry my next one had to be Twilight. So I don't think I have to really explain what this is. I mean, come on, it's Twilight. We all know what Twilight is, especially us guys because our girlfriends, they make us see it, and we're just sitting in line for the torture. And for those of you who like the Twilight series, don't worry, I'm not gonna bash it or hate on it. I'm gonna give my personal opinion on what I thought about this movie. And the truth is, it was okay. I mean, was it the worst? No. Was it the best? Not really. There were some parts that I liked and some parts I didn't like. In the beginning of the movie, after they get married, when everybody were giving their little wedding toasts, I was already like, okay, well, I lived a good life. Let's just try and end this quickly. But once it got past that point, it was somewhat bearable. I mean, there was one part in the movie where the werewolves are getting together and they're communicating with each other like telepathically, like through their minds, and I was just like, wow, that's actually pretty cool. I like that. That was cool. The rest of the movie is a little slow, but thankfully not as slow. The movie runs for about not even 2 hours, just almost 2 hours. Whereas your typical Twilight movie pretty much goes over that, and that's just 30 more minutes that is just pure boringness. And I've suffered at the hands of Twilight before, and this is definitely not the worst one that everyone's making it out to be. I think everybody is just hating on Twilight just for the sake of hating it. But in my honest opinion, it wasn't good, but it wasn't bad either. It wasn't the worst thing I've seen, and trust me, I've seen worse movies. People complain about the acting in these Twilight movies too. I can kind of see why, but I can kind of see why they're acting that way. I mean, vampires, they're not supposed to be, happy and have joy in their lives, let alone their tone. So, yeah, it's kind of ridiculous at some points, but at this point, it shouldn't even be something to complain about. I mean, they did it for 4 movies, coming up on 5 now, and it should not be the biggest issue you have with this movie right now. I'd say rent this movie. I mean, it's not that good, but it's not terrible. And all you people who are just completely bashing Twilight, I know how bad it really is, and it's not really that bad. I walked into this movie thinking I was going to hate it, and it just makes me think that a lot of Twilight haters out there are hating on Twilight just for the sake of hating it. This wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. So on that note, I'd say, just rent it. I mean, Twilight fans, if you're watching this review, you're going to love it. I'm sure of it. In fact, it's impossible for you not to enjoy it if you're a Twilight fan. And for those of you who hate Twilight, this is one of the more bearable ones. I am not a Twilight fan. But Breaking Dawn Part 1 is not the worst one out there right now. But in conclusion, I think it's kind of obvious if you're a Twilight fan, you're going to love this movie. If you're not a Twilight fan, you're going to hate this movie. Anyway, this has been an IMAX Nick review. I hope you'll subscribe and click here for more.